Hey guys, Dark Fate here. Sorry if my voice is a little crackly, I'm getting sick. But, one of my viewers asked me to do the review for Orphan, so this is what it is. So, Orphan. If you're not familiar with this movie, it's a horror movie, and it's kind of in the formula of something like The Omen or The Bad Seed, in the sense that, it involves a young child as the main killer, as the killer, I shouldn't say main killer, as the killer in the movie, and like kind of like the scary part of the movie. And so in this, there is a family, and they have two kids. The wife's name is Abigail, I think, or no, it's not Abigail. Sorry. The wife's name is Kate, and John, and they have two kids already. Danny and Max or Maxine, and they were going to have a third child, but Kate miscarried, so they, like, I guess it's a few months later, or I don't know, it could be like a year later, but whatever. So basically, they want to have another child, but they can't. They don't. I guess she doesn't want to. Like go through it, like the pregnancy thing again, or maybe like I don't know. I don't remember exactly why, or they don't say it, but she doesn't want to do the pregnancy thing again. So they go to an orphanage, and they meet a girl named Esther, and she's kind of like, the way this is filmed, like you could just tell like she'd be some fucked up kid. Like I don't like it's like another thing in horror movies. It's like they always don't think of the most obvious thing, like the characters. I mean, like they come up. She's upstairs. Like it's a only girls orphanage, and all the girls are like downstairs playing and like throwing snowballs. It's wintertime, and yeah, like all that. And then Esther is the only one upstairs in the room by herself painting some picture. I mean, you could just, if any like logical person would know not to pick this kid, and they pick her. So they pick Esther out of all these girls, and they take her home, and Esther she's extremely smart for her age, which that surprised them a lot, and she's just like very well mannered, and she wears like very like elegant like dresses and ribbons on her. She wears like ribbons on her neck and wrists, and she just seems like the perfect kid basically, because she just like the way she acts. And with the other kids, Danny and Max, Danny doesn't really like her because she basically takes all the attention. Like he was the oldest, and Esther is about the same age as him, I guess. They don't say the exact age, but they're in the same grade and they're in the same class. But so Danny and Esther don't really get along. You can kind of see the tension, although it's not as obvious with Esther because she's kind of trying to play the parents. But she becomes Max and her become very good friends, or I shouldn't say friends, but like she draws to Max as kind of a scapegoat or a safeguard, and basically just things like this, like odd things have been happening, and there becomes a huge tension between Esther and Kate, and I don't want to spoil anything, but you can kind of tell what's going to happen. Like she starts killing people and things. So that's kind of what the story is. And by the way, I kind of just scrapped that whole like stars thing I had for movies. I think I'm just going to do now is just kind of say go see it or not go see it. I'm just kind of giving my thoughts. I don't really need to have stars and shit like that. So I think the story is pretty good. There is a twist at the end that you really probably, at least I didn't. I'd say 99% of people wouldn't guess this, but there is a twist at the end. It is kind of cheesy. Well, I shouldn't say cheesy, but it's just kind of unbelievable. But at the same time, it works for this movie, and I thought it was a really creative way of doing it, unlike a lot of other horror movies lately. So the story is actually pretty damn good. Now the acting, like I said, there's three child actors. There's more than that, but there's three main child actors in this movie, and they are exceptional. Those are like really good actors and actresses. Esther, she is played by, hold on, I'm just gonna look. Isabel Furman. I don't really know what she's been in. I think she was in. She's been in only 3 movies. She's been in Orphan, Hound Dog, and she's going to be in Around the World in 50 Years. But I mean, that kind of sounds juvenile. But she's only 12 years old, and she is really good in this movie. Like she's really good. I mean, not like Academy Award, of course, but I mean, she did really well in this role, and I was surprised at how good it was. The other two, Danny is Jimmy Bennett, or James Bennett, and he has been in a lot of movies. I'm not gonna name them all, but he did the voice for Rue in Kingdom Hearts 2. He's been in Poseidon, Daddy Daycare. He was the Flash in Daddy Daycare. So if you've seen Daddy Daycare, you'll know what I'm talking about. And then Max, she doesn't have a thing, so I guess this was her first movie. And then the Kate and John. Kate is played by Vera Farmiga, and John is Peter Sarsgaard. They've been in a lot of movies, so yeah. But the acting in this movie is solid, like compared to a lot of horror movies lately, where the acting is kind of B-rate. Like they just kind of get like really pretty girls, or like they just get kind of B-rate people in these movies, like to make it like teenager movies, like horror movies. But this is a solid cast. I was surprised. I mean, it's a very, very good acting in this movie. Over the sound, like one thing I always think is critical with these kind of like child, like demonic kind of child movies, is the music. Like they need to have like kind of like those choirs, like those gothic choirs and things like that, and like the very heavy string sections in the orchestras. And this is again that works really well in this movie. But it just does. I can't really say anything else. Overall, the enjoyability for this movie, I saw it probably like 3 weeks ago now, so I'm not gonna. I don't really remember how long it was. I'll look at it real quick. It is. It's about 2 hours. It's 2 hours and 2 minutes. But this is a movie. I think that it is a little slow in the beginning, maybe like the first 20 minutes, but like the first, you'll like the opening scene for this movie, you'll just be like, what the fuck? Like it's just really bizarre. But yeah, I don't really know how to say it, because I went to go see it with my dad, and he was just like, what the fuck is that? Like that's literally what what he said. But yeah, the enjoyability, I think this is a great movie, and I would say if you're 17, or if you're not, and or if you're old enough to see it by yourself or go see it with some friends, I would say definitely go see it. It's a really fun movie. So go check out this movie. It's called Orphan, guys.